Callum, I have a question for you. Now, it may well be illegal for me to ask you this, but have you ever considered yourself to be super straight?
I don't think that's a crime. Only if you were hiring me, I think it's a crime to ask me.
Okay.
But from what I've heard, it describes me. This is a new subject, isn't it?
It is. It's brand new. New frontiers in gender and sexual identity.
To be honest, it kind of reminds me of, like, the Tumblrites making up nonsense genders, and then this is like the mirror image.
Why do you think it reminds you of that? That's exactly what this is. We'll go into it in a minute. So here's the original TikTok video of just some guy who had this idea, and it's fantastic. Let's watch it.
Yo guys, I made a new sexuality now, actually. It's called Superstraight, okay? Since straight people, or straight men as myself, I get called transphobic because I wouldn't date a trans woman. They're like, would you date a trans woman? I'm like, no, why? That's a female. No, like, that's not a real woman to me. Like, I want a real woman. No, you're just transphobic. So now, I'm super straight. I only date the opposite gender, women, that are born women. So you can't say I'm transphobic now because that's just my sexuality,
How can they possibly argue with that? Like, that there is absolutely nothing outside of the view of intersectionality, inside the view of intersectionality, that allows you to object to this, because the reason that they can sit there and make up gender after gender after gender, sexual identity after sexual identity, is because everyone within this rule set, everyone becomes a kind of legislator for their own personal identity. And the point is, so eventually everyone can essentially say, I identify as myself, but they've got their own scientific ways of doing it. And so he, as a kind of legislator for this, can, of course, create his own sexuality. There's absolutely nothing stopping them. And in fact, that's what they do all the time, which is defining the boundaries of what they are and what that means, who they're attracted to. And so how could you possibly argue? I mean, there are so many different, like, SJW nonsense terms. Like, I mean, there are so many I can't actually pull one off the top of my head.
Demigender.
There we go. Just,
what does that even mean?
Yeah, exactly. All of these things, right? And so they get to define their own little boundaries and go, this is me, this is how I identify. And so he's been like, okay, well, I'm super straight, which means I am looking for authentic biofem-bodied individuals. So biological females. So, okay, that's valid. We can identify that. He's allowed to say that what he wants in a partner. I mean...
Yeah, and if you criticise that it exists, you're super straight phobic.
And how is that not exactly as valid as all of the rest? It's perfect. There's nothing stopping this at all. And so Super Straight trended on Twitter, and my God, people were not happy about this. A lot of the anti-SJW types, of course, were like, hey, this is a great idea. But there were lots of people who were very angry. But anyway, so one account called Superstraight posted, what is super straight? This is a new sexuality that means you are only attracted to cisgender men or women. It was made due to an influx of people saying that you aren't straight if you're attracted to trans women or men. We are part of the LGBTQ plus community now. #superstraight. Now, this had more than...
Where's our own letter? I don't want to be in the plus. I want our own letter.
No. The plus is the extensions of letters. So LGBTQ.
Yeah, but Q got their own letter.
Well,
that was new.
The S can have their own letter.
Yeah, we can have an S in there.
And to show how totally not mad the progressive Twitter was, this tweet alone got over 10,000 quote tweet replies. 10,000 angry people who are totally mad on twitter.com. Stuff like this, just randos. Super straight, more like shut the F up. It's like, whoa. And in fact, that's, whoa there, partner, we don't stand for that kind of transphobic nonsense. It's like, well, hang on a second, Miss Violet, I don't even know what pronoun I'm supposed to use, actually. Hang on there, Violet. If saying that I've defined my sexual identity as being attracted to biological females, like adult human females, is transphobic, how is being gay not straight phobic and being straight gay phobic? How is it that you're saying, well, I don't actually have sex, or I'm not romantically interested with the same gender that I am, how is that not homophobic in and of itself if this is also transphobic? And of course, the answer is it is. And what she's also saying is that people are not allowed to define their own preferences now. No. She's going to define your preferences for you. If you don't like it, you're a transphobe. You're going to be shamed into including a certain kind of person into your sexual preferences, which seems kind of rapey to me. Seems kind of like rape culture.
Well,
I mean,
let's talk about the lesbians for a second. I mean, the argument here is that if you're a lesbian, you are meant to want to have sex with a trans woman who has a penis.
yes.
You're meant to take the penis and then consider this lesbian sex.
Suck the dick, bigot.
Yeah.
That's where they're at. They literally are at this position. And so it gets better. I mean, this was my absolute favorite tweet of all time. I think I might get this tweet printed out. If you can go to the next one, John. I think I might get this one printed out, right? So for people listening, someone has posted, "This is a new sexuality that means you are only attracted to cisgender men or women," with a picture of a clown sat at a desk typing. So yeah, right. That's the clown world. That's what we're
not
at.
The octigender, demigender types with pansexuality.
Don't worry if you're a lesbian. That's a female penis.
God.
That's not clown world. The fact that you are attracted only to cisgender men or women, that's the clown world. It's like, do you even hear yourselves? Like, just get off of Twitter, for the love of God. It's clown world for adult human males to be attracted exclusively to adult human females. The next one is, again, another brilliant one. So this is someone called Matt, who in their bio describes themselves as, quote, Jewish homo in stiletto nails, he, they. And Matt has to say, society is broken and there is no fixing it. Is that a fact, is it, Matt? Is that a fact? Society's broken. Thank you. From the... just... What,
the person who defines himself by, I guess, sexuality? I don't even know what that was.
Jewish homo in stiletto nails. Society's broken, by the way. Yeah, I wonder who's responsible for this. Thanks.
Well, how do I describe myself? My identities, that's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like taking it in the arse. Do you need to know that about me? It's like...
I'm going to clip that.
Consider it done.
But either way, no, Matt, we didn't need to know that about you. That was just, nobody, and then you pop up going, "Hi, I'm a Jewish homo." So... Thanks.
Yeah, do you like cars?
Yeah.
Can we talk about something else?
How did you feel about Breaking Bad? I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah. So yeah, let's carry on with them totally not being mad on twitter.com. This just random one. Just delete your effing account. I don't care if it's just a joke. This is incredibly bigoted, hurtful, and just plain transphobic. The bio is even worse as it implies that trans women aren't women when in fact we are. F off. But I mean, what I love about this is there were loads and loads of them that were just like, I'm going to kill someone who identifies as super straight. And it's like, right, okay, there we go. You have no counter argument, and you've just jumped straight to, I would like those people exterminated.
Genocide, please.
Yeah, genocide, please. Because those people expose a glaring weakness in my anyone can identify as anything that they want, and they can construct their own genders and sexualities. Like, right, okay, what happens when they construct a gender or sexuality that doesn't include the thing that you wish to be included? That means they need to die.
That's where they are.
Where they are.
I think we should also mention super gay and super lesbian as well, which is if you're a lesbian who wants to have sex with adult human females, or a homosexual male who wants to have sex with adult human males, therefore he would be super gay and super lesbian as well.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I love this so much. So, the next one is, this is literally just transphobia. And if you want to be in the community, you need to be supportive of everyone in it. This is just an excuse for transphobic cis-hets to be transphobic. There's a T in the name for a reason. Don't put yourself into a community of people you're against.
They've already got their own slurs for their genocide, huh?
Hang on a second. Nobody is saying that trans women aren't valid women. No one's saying that. Straight people may well find themselves attracted to women. That might include biological women or trans women. That's just one kind of gender preference. Super straight just happens to be those who are attracted to biological females. It's not saying that trans women aren't women.
The initial statement from the Superstraight account does not exclude trans women as women.
Exactly.
That person is just saying, that's not for me.
Exactly. And, you know, at the end of the day, it may well be that there's no way of knowing, right? I mean, we've all heard this about trans women. You may have well dated loads of trans women and you just didn't know. You've heard this before, haven't you?
No.
You've not heard this?
I've not heard that one.
Oh my God. There are so many of them. The memes going around of, you know, you may have dated trans women and you just don't know because they're just women, just like all of the other women. And it's like, hey, I agree, you know, but they're not female. That's the thing. You know, they still are technically male. But I mean, like, as we go to the next one, you know, no one's saying trans women aren't women. You know, no one's saying that Stephanie Sterling here, if we can go down a bit, John,
Why is it James Stephanie Sterling?
Isn't super heckin' cute, because, of course, she is. Super heckin' cute and valid. I mean, look at that jacket. Look at that. It's gorgeous. I'm just saying, I'm actually starting to reconsider my position on simping. I may well start simping for James Stephanie Sterling. I was always a fan of the videos back when he was a fascist dictator. Sorry. So, I mean, and now I'm just like, that is just so womanly.
I found the bio, and then I've gone back to the Wayback Time Machine to see what Jim Sterling used to identify himself as in the bio.
Herself?
And it was, no, at the time, to him.
Oh, okay.
So,
that's all right.
So he's a reviews editor for Destructoid, host of Jimquisition on The Escapist, freelancer for hire, my tweets are mine, and nobody else's. Imagine, back in the time where I do this is my job. You know, you define yourself by the things you are able to produce. And then the bio today. They, them, pan and trans gender trash is non-binary finery, indie wrestling supervillain, video game critic, proud trash girl.
Wow. If ever there was an advert not to use Twitter, this was it.
You go from person of respect and production to person who defines themselves by their identity. And
yes.
That's them.
But I mean, on the plus side, you've won over a new simp, Stephanie. I'm going to sign up to your OnlyFans.
Gotta hold you to that.
Oh yeah. My wife, but what's this bill for OnlyFans? So don't worry, darling, it's for Stephanie Sterling. It's like, okay, fair enough. I saw the pictures, you can't resist. Super cute. But yeah, anyway, what I love about this is that it's just not the same category in the same way that men aren't in the same category as lesbians. Deal with it. And so we get the tolerant and inclusive messaging from the radical left, of course. If you even a little bit agree with any of this bull, unfollow me. We will never be friends. I will never respect you. So kindly F off, you bigoted C. And it's like, wow, that is just tolerance and inclusivity. Why are you such a bigot, Megan? Why are you against people because they're defining their sexual preferences? Isn't everyone supposed to be able to define their own sexual preferences? I mean, how can you possibly take this to be your position? I think this is a disgrace.
Should we start some super straight rights advocacy?
I think we're going to have to be honest. I mean,
if they're going to oppress us like this, with mean words on Twitter...
I honestly think that everyone has the natural right to be able to define their own sexuality.
I just realised. So under the Equality Act in the UK, sexual orientation is something that is deserving of you getting someone literally arrested for their tweets if they are considered to be spewing hate speech.
Section 127.
Section 127.
Yeah, of course. They just put
Oi, lads!
literally posted hate speech on the internet.
Because that's, okay, a big funny in the United States, but here, that's actually a crime. That is a criminal offence which carries up to 1 year prison sentence.
Oof.
Just something to keep in mind.
Just saying that the bigots on Twitter might need to cool down the superphobic hate speech because there are legal ramifications for this. That remember, wanted.
The Crown Prosecution Service doesn't look kindly on this sort of thing.
Yeah, no, this is unacceptable bigotry and has no place in our society. Obviously, as we all agree. I think there's no one who's against that.
It is certainly the law.
It is certainly the law. But yeah. The next one was another one of my favourites. Natalie Wynn, otherwise known as Contrapoints, posted, "That must be super effing hard for you." So, what's wrong, Natalie? The super straights aren't obligated to have sex with you, are they? They're not entitled to your sexual time.
You're not entitled to theirs.
You're not entitled to theirs even. They are free to define themselves as they want, as you have done.
God, it does sound actually kind of rapey.
It does sound kind of weird.
I deserve to have sex with you.
You are obligated to find me sexually attractive.
I don't think you are.
Sorry, Natalie. But I mean, as a marginalised person yourself, a person of few means and, definitely someone who's just been crushed under the heel of prejudice, you surely understand the problem that super straights are having at the moment, which is the existing power structures are, of course, rejecting them, as Vorsh has just come out and done, just openly. Embracing hate. Can we open this up fully so when people see it properly, John?
Repost if you're superphobic.
Yep. Vorsh has come out explicitly in favour of bigotry.
Well, you better be glad you live in the United States, boy.
Yeah.
You'd be going to jail in this country.
You actually would.
At least you would be breaking the law, I could say that much.
Yeah.
I think with Count Dankula, it was £800 fine.
It was.
So we'll charge them per tweet, I guess.
It was. I mean, you've really got to be careful about this kind of open bigotry. I mean, like, literally, putting a flag in the I'm a bigot area, that's brave.
Twitter also has terms of service on sexual orientation. They don't define which sexual orientations. They just say all sexual orientations are a protected class.
It does. And being openly against someone's sexual orientation, I mean, I don't know whether that's worthy of a Twitter ban, but I mean, if people start reporting that tweet, what can you do?
I have a view that shouldn't be the TOS, but it is the TOS.
Sure, but I don't get to control Twitter and how they do things. I'm not a part of the LGBT.
Make your own Twitter, you superphobes.
And so people have been asking, well, what's the deal with the flag? Of course, the flag alleged to be the colours of Pornhub.
So it's black and
orange.
Let's say off orange.
Yep.
So is it Pornhub? Is that?
I don't know, but I agree with Superstraight India here. Been seeing a lot of Superstraight hatred on the timeline, which we all have at this point. It's just been awful for years. It's nice that we finally got a word that we can use to put to this. So to all the Superstraight people reading, you are valid, you are beautiful, you are precious, you are powerful, fierce, amazing, talented, compassionate, and real. And remember, you are brave. Say no to superphobia. And I just think that's so progressive. It's just
got that flag.
It's so progressive, and I'm finally feel free to be myself. I'm finally not being oppressed, and I welcome.
Let my people go.
Let my people go. I welcome this new innovation in progressive identity politics, and I think that the gender and sexuality legislators have no alternative but to either out themselves as raging genocidal bigots or accept Superstraight into the pantheon of identities.
Oh, I look forward to the court cases.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
I hope
is actually going to happen in the UK as well, though, because there are some weird, stupid court cases in the UK.
Yes, there are.
Because we live in fantasy land with ID poll.
Yes, we do. If you enjoyed this segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can watch the full broadcast live every weekday at 1 p.m. UK time on lotuseaters.com.